Since time immemorial, humans have waged war. Some scholars believe these wars are started over limited resources, religions, or possibly the rule of threes. Two comics from Houston, Texas believe that all strife comes from one group of people looking at another group of people and thinking, that group's hats are silly, and I hate them. Welcome to Silly Hats, a history podcast, with your hosts Will Loden and Nick Palermo.
Welcome to Silly Hats. We're your hosts. That's Will Loden.
Over there's Nick Palermo.
Hi.
And what we think is that every conflict throughout human history started because one group of people looked at another group of people's hats and said, that's dumb.
It's dumb. Their stuff should be my stuff.
Yep, exactly.
It's philosophy.
And yeah,
we're going to prove it with these
goddamn right we are.
Yeah, podcast episodes. that's how in the modern world you prove philosophy.
Through podcasting, yeah.
Through production.
Yeah. Through hard cuts. We're currently here. We're at the Whiskey Brothers Studios. This is where we're always going to be recording. And so, Nick, I know you're not a fan of sports.
I am not. I'm 35 years old. My 12-year-old brother just explained downs to me, football downs. Like I never, and honestly, I kind of think I forgot. But he actually explained it better than any had before. I didn't understand till like a half a year ago, and then I'm pretty sure I forgot.
Well, we're actually going to be talking about football today.
Hell
Unfortunately,
yeah.
We're going to be talking about football from across the pond, then.
Oh, hello or whatever.
Hello, jolly old. Well,
hack accent. Hack. I didn't even want to do it because it sounded so hack, but I couldn't think of anything else. I'm a hack.
Fair enough. Well, no, we're going to be talking about the first. Well, I know you don't like soccer, but you do like merch, man. You like looking fly, and this is a merch war. This is the original merch war. I think this was the first international game between England and Scotland that was applied by FIFA, that FIFA said that's cool. So I'll tell you a little background about
right. Good, because I'm confused already.
Good. All right, perfect. That's a great place to start. All right, so you all know soccer. It's the ball on the ground. They
not
kick
that
it.
Confused.
Right.
I'm not that confused.
Right. Okay, fair enough. Well, they started doing that. They came up with the rules. The first rules, official rules for soccer, was in 1860 in London, and it was at the Freemasons Tavern. Conspiracy theorists.
Oh yeah, where all the best rules come from.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how you know it's pure from its onset.
Right.
If the Masons are involved.
Exactly. And then starting in the 1870s. A lot of guys in London were like, why don't we play the Scots? We've hated them for hundreds of years. Like,
what better way to show our disdain by kicking a ball around?
Yeah,
better.
Look, we're at the height of our empire. We're crushing minorities all across the globe.
As God intended.
What if we crush the Scots again?
In our silly pastime.
And then exactly.
That's how we show dominance.
Right. And so they started doing these international matches where they would get all the best players from England, and they all came from universities, so all the English people came from like Oxford and Cambridge, and they still wanted to rep their Oxford and Cambridge stuff.
Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. You want to know how they did that?
With hats.
Silly little caps.
Fucking
they called them caps. And
hell yeah, they did.
Yeah, so the little bubble, hubba bubba, like it deserved
like
to have
like a Curious George hat. Or?
Yes, exactly. like a little Curious George hat. They were all like,
and the Queen was the man in the yellow suit.
Exactly. No, they wore these little embroidered sewed hats to show how cool they were, and they picked up these Scottish guys, basically who were living in London already, and then they just beat the shit out of them like 4 games in a row. Actually, it was a 2-1 win, a 2-2 draw, and then England won the last 2 games, and it was in like a year. And everyone was like, yeah, England's better than Scotland.
Like, you just picked a guy with no leg and like some guy that didn't ever play this game.
Exactly. That's exactly what they did. They just like, hey, you're from Scotland, right? And they're like, yeah, come kick a ball.
What's all this? Yeah, exactly. Get over here with that. Come, what's all this over here?
Exactly. Like they've been hating on the Scots for thousands of years, like hundreds of years. Like there's Anglo-Scottish wars, in the 13th and 14th century. That's where like William Wallace and Braveheart and all that shit comes from.
Silly skirts.
Silly skirts. The Scots had silly hats then too.
Oh, I bet.
Everyone has silly hats. So these non-sanctioned games were all in London, right?
Who wants a non-sanctioned game?
Right, exactly.
We need a non-sanctioned champion.
Right.
What does that even mean?
What does that even exactly? And so they basically, the Scots like in Scotland were getting pissed because
that's what they do.
Yeah, they get mad in their mountains and they're like, "Rah, the God, it's got it, rah."
My pet's a goat.
Yeah, exactly. You saying I can't do a Scottish accent. It's guttural.
It's guttural.
Just know that when I'm talking as a Scotsman, it's guttural. So they start, in essence, Twitter beef.
Nice.
But it was with like the evening papers. So it was,
it was on scrolls.
Yeah, exactly. It was like the London one. Here, I gotta find the clip. 1 second.
It's like Twitter, but with more wax seals.
Yeah, exactly. It was like Twitter, but like a Mexican guy's back of his truck, like that kind of font.
Hell yeah. I used to want to get that tattooed on my back when I was like 12.
Yeah.
I wanted to get my name in Old English across my back. Wow, I'm glad I didn't do that.
I wanted 2 Bible verses on my forearm.
Which one?
It was one about turning your swords into plowshares, and another one about how like
you're a weird fucking kid.
I was like, this one's about like not violence, but also like I could fuck you up or something,
You wanted that for the football field.
Oh, exactly, dude. I remember playing football at like when I was like 15, and this guy just puts his man arm down, next to me, and it's just covered in tattoos, and like that was the first time I was like, oh, that's a man.
Like, a grown man. About to bowl me the fuck over.
I'm sorry, I gotta find this clip. This is
why we get prepared. Will.
Yeah, dude, I'm
joking.
So the thing is like once all y'all like and subscribe to all of our stuff, like we're gonna have a young Jamie-esque person. That I don't know who it's gonna be, but yeah,
we're gonna make him go by Jamie.
Yeah. Here's what the Daily Scotsman was, the newspaper.
Nice.
And he goes, I must join issue. It's guttural. I must join issue with your correspondent in some instance. First, I assert that whether the Scotch 11 may even been composed of the right to play with open to every Scotchman. You were just picking up dorks off the side of the road.
They talk so fancy while talking shit. It's so funny.
I know. And then first off, the man's name was Charles Acklock, which that's a rough
guttural.
Yeah.
It just sounds like sounds. It's the most purest name, really. It's what names are supposed to be. It's a collection of sounds.
That is the name that a man makes after he's punched.
Yeah. That's every Scottish. Like, that's how they named him. That's how they figured out.
First time you get punched, that's your last name.
And the sound you make when you drink whiskey is your middle name.
Yeah.
That's how they name Scottish people.
Yeah. Yeah. So basically, like it's like they're afraid to come north of the Tweed River. Tweed wasn't just a shitty little jacket for a while; it was a river where they
just
made the
professors
jackets.
Wear.
Yeah, exactly. And so then finally in 1872, the Englishmen are like, fine, we'll come up and we'll play y'all. Like
some of y'all that can actually play.
Yeah. We'll finally take your professionals and our professionals.
They were just doing what Logan Paul's doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, you want to fight?
Yeah. What? Yeah.
I play tennis. Whatever. You're an athlete, right? Not really. Let's fight.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
TV.
old too. Yeah. And so England finally brings their starting 11 up. Finally, they agree on November 30th. It's called.
Fine, we'll fight a fighter.
Yeah, exactly. On November 30th, they come up and they're like, Yes, we're going to bring all our best. They got 2 guys from the army. Like they were trying to bring old school like riggers. They're like we play for the English Fusiliers, which I don't know what that means, you know.
It sounds fancy.
But they were tough. They were real tough, and they
It doesn't sound like it, honestly, the name, but they named it wrong.
Fun fact: did you know November 30th in Great Britain is called St. Andrew's Day? Because of course it is. Because of course it is. Why not?
It's the saint of politeness. It's the saint of keeping your house in order.
Yeah, exactly. The saint of being prompt.
The saint of a stiff upper lip.
Yeah, exactly. I was just gonna try to keep tagging that. No, all right. So the English, they come up. They're still wearing their little caps to rep, you know, Oxford, Cambridge, Bath, whatever. But they start wearing these white shirts that are embroidered with 3 lions.
Pretty sick.
Yeah. pretty sick.
Sounds
Yeah,
like.
Scotsman, side to roll in, little different.
Like affliction gear.
Like affliction gear.
Bedazzled kilts and shit.
That would have been even cool. They wore dark blue shirts, white pants. They had thistles on their shirts because they've always been a thorn in England's side.
Oh, that's lame. They dressed like sailors. They had a thorn on their shirt.
And they wore cowls. So do you know what a
No.
cowl? Oh, so a cowl is not like Simon. He's British. Come on.
I didn't care for that one.
Yeah. Not like Simon. He's British. Have you ever played the video game Assassin's Creed?
I've seen it.
Have you ever seen like monks back in the day? They wore these. They wore what it was in
It's like a
essence.
shawl.
Yeah, like they wore the top of a hoodie. Yeah, they wore the top of a hoodie with a shawl on it
Nice.
that was red, and so everyone could recognize it. You know, and like I said, the Scots all brought their one professional football team, so they were like, you know, like, oh, you guys want to bring ringers?
Yeah.
We're bringing the team that's worked together.
We're bringing the only ones we got.
We're bringing the only ones. Yeah, they played for the Queens Park Rangers. So.
All their enforcement law and all it sounds silly. And all like, oh, the Queen Rangers are coming. Like, fucking let them come. Who cares?
So yeah. That really does sum up a lot of how I feel about like British and Scottish history. Is like, or just history journalists like, hey, how are we gonna look tough? I don't know. What if we put an eagle on something? You know, like, yeah,
Bitchin'.
yeah. One lion? What about 3? Wouldn't that be even scarier? We had 3 lions on there, and then like their wife was clearly all right. If you don't know anything about the British crest on soccer jerseys, it's 3 lions and 10 roses behind it. So I just think there's a guy being like, yeah, those 3 lions sound real tough, don't they? And then the wife was just like, why don't you put the 10 roses on there to celebrate the treaty between the Lancasters and the other people? And he's like, I don't want to do that, love. The 3 lions are tough enough. Well, I'm the one sewing it, so you go get the 10 roses.
That was amazing. Like, you should just do act outs of British stuff as just a thing. We did a spin-off.
Just me
doing
doing Monty Python in essence.
One-sided Monty Python conversations just with you. That was amazing. May have missed your call in there, Will.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I don't want to do that, then.
Oh, do that, love.
What are we going to call our boats? Why are we calling Her Majesty's boats?
Well, that's a stupid idea.
Well, I'm the one painting it.
Well, all right.
All right, love. I'm going to the pub.
History. That is history.
That is history.
That was a reading from Wikipedia.
Yeah.
You can't really trust Wikipedia.
No, don't trust Wikipedia. Don't trust Wikipedia. There were actually some really good books on this and some I looked at I was down at the downtown library and they had some old like printed lithographs and stuff like that. They were like basically like etchings of what happened, and so like here's a good one.
Like ancient court reporters.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Look, this is we'll get this up at some point, but look how silly they looked when they were.
Jesus Christ. What a bunch of fancy boys. And they're like, oh, we're proving our toughness. That one looks like he's got a candy cane in his mouth. I don't know what's happening. It's probably not a candy cane.
It's probably a cigarette.
Yeah,
but
it's candy cane-like. And I'm not taking you seriously because of it. So.
God damn it. Yeah, no, so basically and to prove how awesome it was what you want to know what the score of the first international game was?
0-0.
It was 0-0.
What a stupid fucking sport. God damn it. I don't know anything about sports, but I know they don't find a winner in their games often. Which is like, why did we do this? What was all this for?
There was here's some of the quotes that there was once again in the Evening Scotsman. They said that the Queen's Park players had a fantastic first half.
How did you tell? How do you measure that? And what measurement is that? Was that good?
One of them went on a splendid run and almost got the ball in the goal.
He did a splendid job. Did he get it? No. That is so British. Like, well, good job, Ben. And they just all went home.
Excellent.
Same time next week, yes.
Exactly. At the halftime, the British being schoolboys, they all went to university then, and they made some halftime adjustments, and still didn't score. Still didn't let anyone score in the whole game.
I thought you were gonna say something about I feel like the halftime shows is like everyone read, and they're just quietly reading. Like, it has to be poetry
in Latin. Oh God. This is fun for me because I knew it would make you so angry. Like I was doing this research just like because it wasn't really hard research, but it was just I knew like all right, it's a 0-0 game.
And y'all both failed. Y'all both. This is to prove how tough you were.
Yeah.
Prove our superiority. No one got anything.
Yeah, the reports of the match were published in the newspapers, and there were claims that Scotland won a defensive corner kick, which was written. I don't really know what that means.
It's a 4-hour game. One time you did something kind of good.
Yeah, it was widely praised. They said it was widely praised in the papers, and like I just like looked at like 3 different papers where they were like, absolutely splendid, the best game ever seen in Scotland. And it was like, well, it's the first one that's international,
and no one scored. Well, both left losers.
I just want to put both of us in this situation. So Nick, all right. You want to? Is that my phone?
It better not be. Yeah. It goddamn better not be. And you're fucking with it, I see.
No, it's silent. I was making sure it was silent. You know what? That's super unprofessional.
Very.
Super
I'm not going to cut that, just so people know.
Fair enough. Sorry. Yes. All right. So you wanna support team and country, right? Show you're tough.
Yeah.
How do you do that? First off, if you're a Scottish guy. Besides wearing a red shawl hoodie.
Everything starts at the pub, so. All right. 7 drinks in. Let's get our plan going.
When's the last time they came north of the Tweed? I can't do a
That guy's looking at me funny.
Yeah.
Let's go maim that stranger, and then we'll figure it out.
Let's go maim that stranger and figure it out. This is all right. So these are just short facts for this one. You want me to read off the team that was in England?
Oh yeah,
the English players, because I know you're really excited about this 0-0 game.
Yeah.
Ready?
Who are the players that brought us this? Who is soccer's LeBron?
It's Robert Barker.
Okay.
Harwood Greenlow.
Oh.
Reginald Courtney Welch.
God damn it.
Frederick Madison. William Maynard. John Brockbank. Charles Clegg. Andrew Kirksmythe. Cuthbert Ottaway, Charles Cherney, and Charles Morris.
Those are the grossest names. Nobody has ever had any seasoning on their food. None of those people.
We had just conquered India, sir. We hadn't gotten it back.
we knew we wanted the spices. We didn't know what they were for. We just knew we didn't want them to have them.
Exactly. And then actually on the Scottish team, it was Mountain McWhiskey.
He was the team captain.
Is Robert Gardner, William Kerr, Joseph Taylor, James J. Thompson, James Smith, Robert J. Smith, Alex Rind, Billy McKinnon.
That just sounds like a modern hockey team. That's just
Exactly. Jerry Weir and David Wotherspoon.
That's just the Calgary Flames.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, that's what happened with their first. That's actually where you get the term. So the term cap, it means international.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It means that you've performed for your international team. And the reason that they do that is because the English were wearing caps to represent England. And then in 1882, the Queen of England started basically giving them caps. So you would get a cap if you played for the international team. And so that's where that comes from.
So and then what was it? If you beat them, you got their hats or something? Were hats traded or like
jerseys get traded now? Hopefully hats were traded. I think, but my whole point is that England didn't like Scotland, and so we knew that the English were wearing these caps, and the Scots decided, you know what, we're gonna wear red cowls, even though that's not a part of our flag.
Like, look, we can't win in a battle.
Battle. Or a war.
Yeah.
Man.
One of those proper wars, with the weapons. But like,
boom,
this not sharp ball. I think we do pretty.
Yeah.
I think we kick this between a net.
Yeah, and they could.
Turns out we can't. Fuck. Have we done a drinking contest?
I think they would win the drinking contest.
They'd be like America. We're losing basketball now. It's like, hey, how you lose drinking, Scotland? Like, we haven't won it in years.
Exactly. No, we're a tech hub now. I don't know what to tell you.
Peru's been crushing it.
It's been just murdering us. Oh man, I feel like I could make this like longer, just like reading off the newspaper clips of people.
Yeah, you better do
shit.
Something.
Yeah. I got 10 more minutes. Here we go.
You better fucking do something.
Describe the match. All right, yeah, I gotta just get better at my
I
descriptor
love
stuff.
how many people wrote about this non-match match. It was brilliant. I loved it. I woke my kids up so they could watch.
Right.
Did you see there?
No,
Nothing.
4,000 people showed up for this. So yeah, they showed up in Glasgow, Scotland. So it was.
And what year was this?
This was in 1872.
So it took some doing to get somewhere. They lost people on the travel.
Train travel was still new,
Oh,
super new. Like we didn't have a lot of trains until this is I guess the right when the robber barons were coming around in America, but still I guess Cornelius Vanderbilt. Yeah, so trains weren't a big deal yet. People got lost, to.
They lost their foot to mud.
Yeah,
going to this game and then no one won.
Yeah.
What a shitty way to lose a foot.
And also November 30th in Scotland. Could you imagine have you how rainy it is up there, right? And just it's like Seattle but more grim, and it was Glasgow was a big coal town too, so they were just burning coal and stuff during the Industrial Revolution.
They've had it rough.
Yeah. That was a really rough one.
How dare you judge our drinking?
Yeah, there was over 4,000 people came. Rugby was coming up then too, but everyone liked soccer more for some reason.
They just had enough fighting. Can we just not fight for one fucking day?
For one day.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you want us to run into each other every day? That's called a labor strike. We can't keep doing this forever.
Yeah, we do this for our rights. You want us to do it for ha-has?
Yeah. I just want to go back to the idea of London or England initially just being like, we have the best players in London. What if we challenge them to this?
That was really because when you started this, I was like, oh, so they're like how we call world champions. But
Yeah.
they were actually world champions. It was like, oh no, they did the same exact shit.
Yeah.
International champion.
Yeah,
It was just
exactly.
other dudes from there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hey, you're from Scotland originally, right?
Yeah. I mean, I guess.
Yeah. I don't really identify as that now.
We don't have 23 in me back now. Can't do an ancestry DNA test, but I'm pretty sure.
I guess
That's
so.
what my grandparents, they can't read or write, told me. So it could be wrong.
No, it could be wrong. Oh man, yeah. No, they were drawing all this different stuff. Yeah.
And what assholes? They're like, hey, we conquered the world. We're better at sports too. You know, it's like, let's prove everything.
That is a fascinating point because literally right at this moment they're about to. So they're all right. So what has England been up to since they started talking about soccer? Conquered India, right? They got into the Opium Wars. Got fights in Afghanistan. Started trading with Japan. Was still dicking around in like the Maldives and things like that, and they're like, "Hey, I'm bored." What?
What are other people good at? Let's beat them in it.
Yeah, exactly. What do? Kick a ball around? How juvenile.
That's the word for word I was going to say.
I shall get better at it.
Bernard.
Come
Train
get
me.
Come get one of my people. Yes. Find a young man to sew a leather ball together, and we shall kick
The
it.
nicest leather.
Yeah.
It shall be soft on my foot.
I just love how this one, like we did Rovers and Huts. I was like, we need to light it up for a second,
Yeah.
and then
And you went super light.
super light, just cute, like. But you want to know why this started? You want to know why? The Scots were looking at those guys' hats, and they said, you know what? First off, don't beat up our dorks when they're wearing their silly hats. All right.
And I bet we could kick this poverty ball around. a bunch.
That is what it is.
That's the only reason it's the most popular sport.
Yeah.
You don't need equipment.
Yeah, no, it's a lot harder to start a hockey team.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
straight,
You have even the footwear. Like you have to have
yeah.
things.
To-
Like, it's not even the pads, which you also need.
Yeah.
But you need footwear to get started and frozen water.
Yeah, exactly. Which is tough to come by in certain parts of the world.
Yeah.
Why isn't hockey so much more exciting in Mexico? Yeah.
We got one hockey bar.
We got one.
I think all
and
of
it's
Texas.
Oh yeah, it is. I worked at that hockey bar.
Of course you did.
Yeah, no, I was sewing masks during COVID. This was not no, I was working at a sweatshop.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. So who do you think was the winner of the 0-0 game?
I mean, no, but I think as with all of history, no one won.
Yeah.
This is where we are in history.
See, I respectfully disagree. I like to think that England won because they started the tradition of cap, and I think Scotland.
Oh, they made up rules and then won it? Oh, cool. I bet the guy that makes up Monopoly is really good at Monopoly. Fuck out of here.
I think his name was Talbot Hasbro. But
Is that one of the Scottish players?
yeah, exactly. I like to think that everyone won because they had a fun time playing the game. Do you think?
God damn it.
What if I just middle school mommed it and just
Yeah.
gave everyone orange slices at the end?
Like a youth pastor.
Right,
Didn't we have
exactly.
fun, y'all?
Did we have
y'all
fun? Let's talk about Jesus
Yeah,
now.
Jesus would have had fun too.
Jesus would have had fun.
Jesus wants you to tie.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man. That's yeah. So I think everyone won.
I think no one won. I think they're both losers. It was fucking a disaster.
Yeah.
They should be ashamed of themselves. This is their recorded history, and I'm sure they're proud of it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
But they've done a lot of silly things that they're very proud of.
The British?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
They still going with the queen and shit. Still
Rowing?
going. Like, that's real.
Yeah, rowing, monarchies.
Amazing. And they're still like, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I got, look at this crown.
Yeah, exactly.
God told my ancestor I should wear it.
Yeah.
We still believe in that?
Yeah, exactly.
We still
I married
buying that?
my grandma married her cousin so we wouldn't have to share.
Now worship me.
Yeah.
Watch my granddaughter's wedding.
Yeah. Oh, Pippa!
Watch as the deformations get worse and worse.
All right, yeah. So that's 30 minutes on a game that didn't happen, and I'm pretty impressed that we got that far.
No, hell yeah, that was something, and I couldn't. Who thought I could respect soccer less? You know.
All right.
All right. Well, that's it for that segment. What do we got next, British guy?
And now it's time for
This is the hat word of the day.
Next thing.
And now we've got our hat word of the day. This is where we find a fun hat word.
You learn.
You learn. I love learning.
I mean,
Nick,
the whole thing's learning, but this is
right.
vocabulary.
Nick, do you know what a hook is?
No, I know what hookah is.
Well, it does come from that part of the world. It's in essence like it's the like a cowl. How we talked about how a cowl was just like the hoodie top with the shawl. The hook goes all the way down to the legs and covers everything up. And it's good for riding horses and stuff. It was invented by the Moors in the 13th century and found its way into Europe in the 16th century. And now you have cool stuff like fat guys who want to dress like Aragorn from Lord of the Rings wear them.
I thought you said cool stuff.
That's cool stuff to me.
No, that is pretty sick.
Yeah,
I feel like that's what like a zombie guy on a horse.
Exactly.
Like
yeah.
in badass like tattoos or a badass painting on a guitar.
That's
you
exactly
know?
it. Yeah, that's exactly it.
All right.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah. All right. That was it. All right.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hook.
A hook.
A hook. It just sounds like somebody saying hook funny.
Yeah.
Like, trying to be an asshole.
I could be saying it wrong. There's a definite
it's just hook.
Yeah.
Why are you saying it all weird, idiot?
Exactly.
Dumb Americans.
Yeah.
Fucking idiots.
This is trying to sound fancy.
Fucking everything on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe Dirtated.
Yeah. Of course, hat word of the day is brought to you by the Hat Shop of San Diego.
The Village Hat Shop of San Diego since 1980.
Yep, that's it. That's our
Everything is brought to you by the
Village Hat Shop. Hat word of the day.
1980, whether they like it or not.
Like it or not, or if another hat shop pays us.
Yeah. Thank you, Hat Shop.
All right.
Watch out, here they come, and they're coming fast. It's time for silly facts from the past. Silly facts from the past.
Welcome to Silly Facts from the Past. This is where we tell y'all silly facts from the time period that we're, talking about.
So we are currently talking about 1872. Here's a fun fact from 1872. First meeting on Prohibition in America happened in Columbus, Ohio.
Oh, fucking
on
nerds.
February 22nd.
Fucking nerds.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Prohibition worked out pretty well for your people, though, right?
Oh, yeah. It really propped up Italian crime. It has. You're right. They don't talk about generational wealth.
I think the Kennedys are fans of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
no.
you're right. It really changed the landscape for crime and the Kennedys.
Right. Exactly.
The whole Kennedy family, where they'd work in gas stations.
Yeah. Dude, they would just be a hot guys just chilling in Boston. Yeah.
They still would have killed a woman.
Yeah, I
in the river.
summoned Provincetown. And just like
They're just drunks.
Yeah, exactly. No, that was a big part of the second revival of church stuff, and
Gross. Gross.
those Anabaptists were not fucking around.
No, we should celebrate and get real drunk on that day. When is it? March 22nd?
February 22nd.
February 22nd?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Let's make that a drinking holiday.
Dude, February 22nd,
Drinking holiday.
22nd, 2
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Let's drink till we can't read numbers anymore.
Exactly.
Hell
Then
yeah.
I'll just sound Irish anyway.
All right, good.
Yeah,
Good.
These are all America facts this time. I was going pro-America because I feel like we were talking too much about England, and I want to remind them.
I don't know.
like,
This is very pro-America. It's pretty stupid.
It was prohibiting America.
Hey,
Oh.
prohibition.
Yeah.
Bam.
Yellowstone became the first national park in America on May 1st of 1872. So we were like 8 years after fighting the Civil War, and we
Right.
were like,
You know what's important, Parks?
yeah, exactly. Let's get these engines off this land. No, this is ours. No one can have it.
It's a Leslie Nope with that.
Yeah, and the first Shriners Temple was founded in New York City.
Oh, really?
This is coming back to Silly Hats.
Wow, they predated the little cars?
Yeah.
I thought they always rode in the little cars.
That's just when they're fundraising, baby.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I ended up, So the first Shriners Temple was founded in NYC as an off branch of the Masons. Once again,
They just on little horses.
that was their entertainment. That's their entertainment fundraising arm with the Fezzes. They called their first Shriners Temple Mecca because you could just do that in 1870.
Yeah, hell yeah. There's no copyright law.
It's not sacrilegious. There aren't any Muslims here. You know?
And there's not. We make sure of that.
Exactly. Exactly. Cool. So those are the 3 facts from 1872 that I got. Silly facts. I my favorite silly fact from that is like, which one's your favorite silly fact?
What was the first one again?
Prohibition.
Oh, the
first meeting on prohibition.
Yeah, I like that one because we got a new drinking holiday out.
There we go. Perfect.
Hell yeah. Make some more money for Budweiser.
Yeah, there we go.
Anheuser-Busch doesn't have enough.
Exactly. There we go. Perfect. All right.
What about yours? What was yours?
Oh, dude, my favorite is definitely the Shriners one. Just finding out more about different people's silly hats.
I still don't know what the fuck they do, what the
They-
Masons
they-
do. No one can explain this to me.
The Shriners, from my understanding, are like the outreach portion of the Masons. It's like they're clown Masons, you know, they wear the silly hats and ride the bikes and like go hang out with kids with cancer.
They're like
And-
Cutco knife salesmen of
the
Masons
Yeah, exactly.
with funny hats.
Yeah. We want this to be non-taxable. Ride the bicycle.
That only leads to more questions than answers. I don't get what the fucking Masons do besides be secretive.
Yeah. No, I think they like that though. I think
Yeah.
that's
It's just a big Andy Kaufman bit.
It's been going on since roughly the
Dude, that would be the funniest shit ever. These are just the best comedians ever.
that we've never
Generationally, they're just laughing at themselves. It's the Friars Club.
It's the Friars.
That's what they do. They just roast each other. They're like,
Look,
they
we put
run
our shit
the
on
world.
money. Look how weird people get.
Fucking idiots.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. If they, I hope that's the case. I think it's sinister, but I hope that's the case. But I hope it's just for buns. you know?
Right.
It's just a real solid inside bit.
Right. Okay.
All right. I think that was enough for facts.
Yeah.
That was enough for facts. Next thing.
And now it's time for
Lit bits, lit bits, lit bits, lit bits. Lit bits.
This is where we make fun of hats.
And thank you, British guy. Welcome to one of my favorite segments. This
Yeah.
is Lid Bits, where we bring in some of our favorite comics from all over Houston.
Make fun of the hats we've been talking about.
Across from me, we've got sweet Radu Bondar, Radu the Handsome. And right next to me, we've got Zahid, one of the greatest of all time in Houston.
Zahid Dewji,
Zahid-
Also, okay to look at.
Also, Radu
Also
the Handsome.
fine to look at, though.
His head's
wrong.
His head's not weird at all.
Nothing, everything's fine. No one's dying.
No, it's like-
No one's doing their last podcast forever.
You dress like that too, like you're bundled up.
Yeah, I'm very cold all the time.
Today we are talking about the first international soccer game versus England versus Scotland, and it's actually where you get the fun term cap from international soccer. So when people are like, he has the most caps, it's because
Like a fucking hat.
because the English.
Wow, that's
They gave him a
actually that is
stupid hat.
cool.
Yeah.
I
It's
never
not
knew
cool,
that.
but
I
it's
never.
something.
It's something that exists.
The English all wore their school hats, like their Oxford and like York. They all wore their school hats, and the Scots wore like these weird monk cowls. And then we have a couple of drawings from 19th century.
Either way, they all looked really good,
Yeah.
and it made sense.
Yeah.
They looked good. The rules made even less. There was like, you think soccer's bad now? There was no substitutions. If you were bleeding or whatever, they're like,
Yeah.
come on, kick through him.
And no women. This what I love is that they were like, hey, we know we're just starting this game, but hey, what do you guys think about like just hats and pants? I feel like that's the obvious choice here. I don't know a lot about dressing for sports, but let's start with hats and pants. That feels like the most.
Our knickers. Yes, yes. Should
Cut that, please.
Can we get a Joe Rogan compilation?
Actually, can we get, Can you slow that down and tell me just that clip?
No.
That was actually said at the first soccer game.
Heavy rotation.
Those were the teams. It was the Skins versus
The Dew Caps. Yeah, when I looked at this photo a bunch, and here's as a former soccer player, my favorite thing is I counted. There are 18 people in this photo, which means like no one's planning to play defense. They just brought everybody they had. And they're like everyone to the front.
Yeah.
And then one guy is on the ground. He's like, I don't even know what the fuck. And then the goalie looks like he's trying to go swimming at a bar mitzvah.
Yeah, whenever you read like the first rules, because like I think the first team was like Sheffield or whatever, you're like the goalie could use one hand if he wasn't drunk. You're like, how did they play this game? I don't think it was about winning at all. This is just fighting.
This is insane. And the guy in the front, a lot of the photos here, they look like they're terrified to play the game they signed up for.
Yeah, and there wasn't like
It's brand new.
It looks like he's like, the ball's black.
this game looks especially brutal because I don't think there was red cards yet. You couldn't be removed from the game for playing it too violently or aggressively. All you could get is an indirect free kick. So they're just like, all right, he did murder that guy, but we're pretty close to the goal. If you just kick it right.
Well, my favorite fact about this whole thing is the first international soccer game that they tried to have. Basically, the English guys found a bunch of Scottish guys who like worked at a dock.
That's exactly what they look like. That's a joke of mine. I literally on the next slide I went. The Scottish people look like they just live in Scotland still.
Yeah.
They're just like we're playing. All right, we're
That's
playing a
what
game.
they did. And then they're like, we won. And like,
And then
yeah, of course.
They drew them accurately. They drew them as cab drivers.
Yeah, we can just flip it to look at all.
Wait.
Yeah.
There's one more, right?
Yeah, I
sorry.
think so.
Oh shit, sorry.
No.
What am I doing here? There's
where
no
did-
one
where did-
more.
where did
Oh,
I-
you sent me one that's not on
All right,
this
let me-
one.
Let me find that one on. Yeah, here.
It's I'll tell you that my favorite part about it, including this one, is this looks like the real game is against the men and their own suppressed homosexuality. There's a lot of photos. I'm like, this is kind of hot. Look at this guy trying to head the ball. I don't even think that he knows. And I'll go for it.
What looks weirder, early soccer or early basketball? Because that looks strange. You
Isn't
know
that
what I mean?
insane?
That looks so silly.
Yeah, but I'm
This
sure
looks like he's the only one that can see that ball.
it looks weird, but knowing the time period, maybe he was coached to do it that way.
Yeah.
His coach was like, "You'll never get any power if your arms are flapping about. Straight up like a missile, boy. A scud.
Dolphin it.
It looks like Scotland's playing a team of wizards
Yeah.
that were all about to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Everyone looks like they should have a one candle.
They are wearing. They're wearing the sleepy time hats.
Sleepy time hat.
And it also looks like one team got pants and one team got pajamas.
Just the first shirts and skins.
Yeah.
That's how it was.
Pants versus.
Also,
pajamas.
there's a crazy variance of hats. Some people in the first photo, people were wearing what looked like sporting apparel.
Yeah, I think you just bring in your own stuff at this point, you know?
Now
That was Nike. That's the original Nike. Right
This
there.
is
that was the drip back then.
well, this is the hat from The Legend
What
of
is this?
Zelda.
What is this? What is this? A 7 thread count? Haven't even gotten it.
Oh shit, my boy got single digits.
Damn, dude. What is this?
Oh,
yarn? What is this?
shit.
Full yarn?
That's homespun wool. His wife did that on a loom.
It feels like England, instead of playing it's like doing plays, their main tactic is to tell riddles.
Well, also,
I wrote down, if you answer these 3, you get a kick for free.
one of the things that cheating is super prevalent today in every sport. Can you imagine how bad it was then? No cameras.
Oh,
Yeah.
just
No
punch people in the
replay.
throat.
Dude,
I would have razor blades all up in my hat.
you'd go Peaky Blinders immediately.
Or a really smelly hat.
Oh,
Because you could
You think
ditch
that's
that.
going to do it back in the day? I think they
That's
all
true. Everyone
smelled
smelled like
horrible.
shit.
Yeah.
I'd have a really bloody hat.
I think that's why it
Again.
took so long for people to go down on women.
Oh, that's why it
We
was
can
so.
cut that if you want to.
No.
No. I want to make that the focus. Cut
What I
everything else
love-
you said.
Look
I
at the
love-
referee. Do you see this referee right here? He wore a top hat to while
Hell
people
yeah.
are trying.
And I love it because at the bottom the caption says, keeping warm. And this guy's like, I'm not going to stop smoking and try to kick this ball. In the most hilarious of fashions.
Yeah.
This is clearly the best way to kick a ball. You put the bottom of your foot against it, right?
Yeah.
He's Monty Python silly walking into the
Also, I don't know if it's just the artist's rendition. None of these balls are spheres.
No.
No, they're crazy.
Dude, they were all pig's bladders.
Yeah.
What about this guy from New Jersey, England? Like, hey, what the fuck is happening over here? You guys fucking want to play some goddamn soccer?
Yeah.
The other ones you sent me, this is like, oh god, this is so funny. The missile guy.
Yeah.
The missile guy.
Missile guy's great.
This is the only legitimate one.
Oh, yeah, the
soccer
bicycle
move.
kick guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Everyone else looks like they're
But he's
listening
got
to
a-
the
he's got
Benny
a-
Hill.
But he still has the cap.
He's
on.
got a
Yeah.
stocking cap and elf shoes, so he's no control.
It was Christmas, Rodney.
Oh, another funny thing, they did play Christmas games, or I don't know if it was day after Christmas game. They still do.
It's matches.
Yeah.
They still do in the Premier League. But back in like before the 90s and 80s, when the players didn't get a lot of vacation time, they would go home for Christmas, get fucked. I mean, trashed, and then go play a full game of soccer the next day. And you'd have like Manchester United that just won like 3 leagues in a row, lose like 11-0 to Sheffield Wednesday, and they're like, doesn't matter, we'll make it up in February down the line. But like the Christmas day, they would show just the
Anybody have a spoon?
they would literally just show the scores from Christmas Day sometimes. And you're like 7-1.
Right.
Jeez.
Sounds like my entire comedy career.
Mm-hmm.
All Christmas, all the time.
All hangovers, baby.
Elf shoes.
Zod, where can we find you all over the internet?
At Pro911 on Instagram. No, just my name, Zahid Dewji on everything.
Cool. And Radu, where can we find you all over the internet?
RADU. That's it. You can find if you follow another Radu, cool.
Just follow Radu.
He got like cool.
Trying
at
to
the
get
end,
it out
though.
No, yeah. That was gross.
I'm trying to get it out there.
Perfect.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
y'all,
guys.
fellas.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
All right. All right, and now it's time for our final segment, shout-outs. This is where we shout out things that are important to us. I like to shout out teachers that inspired me. My shout-out today is Mr. Dr. Joshua First out of the University of Mississippi. Thanks for being awesome.
Or whatever.
Yeah, go Black Bears. We're the Black Bears now. We're not the Rebels anymore. We changed.
They're like, we got to get black in there somehow.
Exactly.
Fucking assholes.
He gave me a great DVD called Moscow Does Not Believe in Tears, which is awesome Russian propaganda from the 50s.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So harsh.
It's so much fun, too. Yeah. It's about 3 women that travel to Moscow, one of whom becomes a whore. The other one who works hard in a factory and raises her way up, even though she's a single mother. So you can still mess up, but work out hard and you can run your own factory one day. Third one gets addicted to drugs.
Guess which one's a good communist?
Yeah.
Weirdly, the successful one.
Yeah, exactly. How'd that work out?
Loves the party.
Yeah. Nick, what do you want to shout out?
I don't remember any of my teachers, specifically history teachers. So I'm going to shout out a website I bought. I had it recently, strictlyfitted.com. I think it was Strictly Fitted. It might be fitted, might be plural, might not. It might not even be called that.
What
But I
kind of hat was it?
bought a cool Knicks hat, black hat, white writing. Pretty sweet. Should be getting it soon.
That's dope. And as per usual, shout out to all y'all who listen.
Yes.
Thank
Tell
you
people.
tell people, please like and subscribe and all of that stuff.
and all that.
Is that how we talk? That's how we talk on
Yeah,
the
that's
media.
That's
Yeah.
what we do.
All
That's
right,
what we do
cool,
here.
cool.
Yeah, and then shout out to the Whiskey Brothers. I pointed like they could see you. And
Slade
for
up.
having us
Yeah.
on this beautiful network and at this beautiful studio with all these things.
All right. Boom.
Boom.
There we go.
That concludes this episode of Silly Hats. Thank you for tuning into our program. Created by Will Loden and Nick Palermo. Hosted by Will Loden and Nick Palermo. Researched by Will Loden. Audio and video editing by Nick Palermo. Video recording and additional video support, Slade Ham and Jerry Wayne Longmire. Brought to you by the Whiskey Brothers Network. Recorded at the Whiskey Brothers Studio. Featuring comedians Zahid Dewji and Radu Bondar. Special thanks to the Houston Public Library and the Village Hat Shop of San Diego, California since 1980. Follow Silly Hats Podcast on all forms of social media at Silly Hats Podcast. For a full bibliography, follow us on Instagram. We'd like to especially thank the Whiskey Brothers for their support. Drink up, chaps.